This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. All right, we want to talk about a story that's going on. All right, again, leave your boy some stars. All right, you can support me by sending stars. Stars help me to earn money to make more content, which is true, which is true, which is true. All right, people. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's been kind of like a long day, but every day is a long day. It's a good day just to be living in the land of the living. Mm. All right. We're trying to break over India Baker. We're trying to break over the story. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in Antioch, California, place just right there by San Francisco, where a young black lady body was dumped and burned. And we just want to find out what's going on. What are they saying about it? And what's up, Wanda Webb, Charles Isaac, Lavita Ross, Ella Clark, Keena Nicole. I just read your message, Keena Nicole. Crystal Marshbanks. I don't know why I get on here be yarning. Ooh, what it is. Come on in, come on in. Adrian Sky, Jimmy Ding. What's up, Jimmy Ding? What's going on? All right. This is live, uncut. This is where we tell the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what we do. Exactly what we do. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, please go to my YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube. All right, Martin G. Johnson. You'll find me there. YouTube. All righty. Barbara Jean Jordan. Rita Sykes. Marcia Jackson. All right. Share this live. We're going to talk some good talk tonight. Yes. Let's go. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to talk that talk tonight. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. All right. It's almost just about 11 o'clock. I guess we can give ourselves about an hour or two. We don't have it, depending on how it goes. All right. Wow, another police got away today after kneeling on a 14-year-old boy's neck. Back on his okay, boy, 14-year-old boy back. Chicago, okay. People, there's nothing wrong with loving the police, loving and liking the police. Nothing wrong with that. But when the police are wrong, they ought to be held accountable. That's my point. That's my point. Y'all coming on in too. We coming on in. All right. Make sure you share the video. Let's get them likes up on YouTube. Them likes up on YouTube. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna go YouTube a whole week, probably live on YouTube instead of Facebook, and make you guys subscribe if you want to listen to me. Will not make you ask you to do that. Ronnie Johnson, what's going on? All right. I'm finna get ready to get started. Let me put my screen sharing up here. All right. Invite guests. Share screen. All right. All right. There we go. Ready to go live. Okay. Got the screen up there. Let me set this straight. Refresh this page. All right, let's listen to Mom. We're going to get started, people. Racist California police text scandal result in drop charges. Now, all right, we're hearing something different now. Okay, let's get going. All right. Let's start back from the beginning. Hold it.
In there, and I didn't even know that was her.
Sandra Sharman is still reeling from the pain of losing her daughter, Michaela. Last October, Michaela's burned body was found along this Antioch trail. 2 men were arrested in connection with the crime. They were facing charges of arson and mutilating a corpse. But that's no longer the case after the Contra Costa County District Attorney dismissed all charges, saying the case was now in doubt because it involved Antioch police officers connected to the department's racist text messaging scandal. That scandal involves racist and homophobic texts traded between officers, in some cases bragging about assaulting suspects. Today, the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office confirmed that the 2 suspects are no longer in custody.
It's unexplainable. Who would do something like this? And this is the way it is.
My sympathies are absolutely with the family.
Annie Esposito is the Assistant District Attorney for Contra Costa County. She says they're currently reviewing pending court cases and say that review involves more than just looking at the individual actions of each officer in each case.
It is looking at the totality of together what influence and overall the influence of all the department that was involved in this case.
Michaela's sister, Nicole, is also sad and angry that the prosecution of 2 men tied to her sister's death is now being vacated because of the police scandal. She believes the evidence presented during preliminary hearings, including surveillance video of the crime, clearly links these suspects to her sister's death.
So I believe that they're appeasing a community by dismissing the case, but they haven't done their due diligence at scrutinizing the evidence.
The district attorney's office says they could reopen the case if new evidence is found. But as it stands, the case is dismissed. And now the family of Michaela Sharman is left to consider other options for trying to reopen a case they feel should have never been dismissed.
I don't want to hear their apologies. I don't want to hear what they got to say unless they're saying something pertaining to Michaela's death.
In Antioch, Pete Serratos, NBC Bay Area News.
All right, people.
The medical examiner here in Nashville is working to figure out if...
All right, let me clear that out. All right, people. I want to say this. Now, if you notice, let's get back to the screen right here. Now, if you notice, now they're saying 2 suspects. Now, when you go to another article, it says 2 officers. Let's pull that up. So we're going to get to the bottom of this. And they said the case is dropped because of the officers' homophobic text messages. Isn't that crazy? Come on now, people. Y'all know what time it is. Let me pull up another screen, too. All right. All right. Now, let's go to this screen right here. All right, we'll go right here. All right here. All right, so we can see this. I want you guys to see this. And see, you see how the media play games. So, see, the media cold-blooded with it. They cold-blooded. Hold on, let me pull this screen up so you guys can see what I'm looking at. All right, I want you to see exactly what I'm looking at. Now, when you Google it, all right, let me pull that screen up. Go to screen sharing. All right, let's get this going. That's not the one I want. I want this one right here. All right. Did I get it? Is it sharing? Okay. Stop sharing this screen sharing. I'll stop sharing. All right. And people, I'm telling you, the media is cold-blooded. If you're not careful with these words, they will eat you alive. All right. All right. Hopefully you guys can see the screen there. All right, let me see if I can make it bigger. All right. Now look how they got it worded. On October the 7th, It says officers Ashton, Monto, whatever his name is, and D'Angelo Boone were charged with arson and mutilation of human remains after they allege moved the body of Michaela Solomon, 25, to a dumpster and then set the dumpster on fire. Both officers pleaded not guilty to the charges. Now, if you paid attention to NBC interview, they never said that they were officers. You see how they worded it? See, people, we got to watch the media. They play games. They play word games. Word games. Word games. This is crazy. They play word games. All right. I need some callers. I need some callers to call in. What's going on, Adrian? Read us. All right. Marcia Jackson, Charles Isaac, Ella Clark. All right, come on in. I need some callers, people. Call in number 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. Angelia Moore or Nathan, live, uncut, unedited. All right. All right. Make sure you share this podcast, this broadcast, podcast, whatever you want to call it. It's the same. All the same. And listen, people, this thing should have been viral. It's in Antioch, California. I think it's northwest of San Francisco, I believe. It's the population is 114,000, I believe it is. So this is terrible of a black woman. And I'm going to tell you what the deal was. They was up there getting high together. If she OD'd on some fentanyl, fentanyl, that's what it was. They got rid of the body. And I heard they borrowed a dolly from someone. So it's a lot going on. So they dropped the case because a lot of these officers was involved inside of a racist slurred text message. Man, something's not right, people. Something's not right. Something's not right. Something's not right, people. Anybody want to call in and talk to me? Now we're going to go to another video or so. All right. Let's go here. Let's see.
Charges dropped for the people who dumped a woman's body here. We'll give you the update. The torch body of Michaela Charlemagne, 25 years old, found last year in Antioch, California. Prosecutors dropped charges against two men accused in the mutilation of her body. The background on the cause of death. Medical examiner determined that Charlemagne died of fentanyl overdose, noting that her family had attended all of the court dates in her sister's death, including the preliminary hearing where a judge determined if prosecutors have sufficient evidence to make a defendant stand trial. NBC News with the reporting. Nicole Leeson said that during court testimony, Ashton Montalvo and D'Angelo Boone were accused of dumping her sister's body in a dumpster they grabbed from a nearby building after she overdosed at an abandoned apartment in Antioch, city of roughly 114,000. It's northeast San Francisco. The men were captured on security cameras borrowing a dolly from a 7-Eleven, pushing the dumpster 4 blocks to a paved trail where witnesses from a nearby homeless encampment saw them allegedly pour lighter fluid into the dumpster and set Charman's body on fire, Eason said. Roughly a week later, after her family reported the 25-year-old is missing, Eason said authorities confirmed her death. Now, after Charman's family reported the 25-year-old missing, the victim's mother said authorities.
That's enough of that. Listen, people. Let me just say this. Let me say this, people. Hold it. Let me say this. I want to say this, people. These guys are police officers. No one wants to say it, said officers. They wording, they slick people. They working together. Working together. Cheryl Blakely, how you doing? Oh, they're not releasing all the information. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, listen, they said it's not enough evidence. Man, I tell you, black women, we are not protecting you guys. That is terrible. This should have been national news. See, you know what they do too. I learned, like, when these high profile cases and when they want to hide something, they hide the stuff and give it months and months later, let it come out. So they check the climate of the people. Officers. These guys were officers. No one is saying that now. But if you go to Google, it said officers all day. Let me go there. Hold on. We'll go there. All right. I got a caller. Hold on, caller. I'll be with you shortly. I want to see. Stop sharing. Let me put up another screen. Hold on, caller. Hold on, caller. Pull up another screen. I'll be right with you. Pull up another screen. We got to look at this. This is crazy. Listen, they slick how they got it worded, boy. And hold on, let me just, I want to show the audience something. Here I come, caller. Here I come, I promise you. Hold on one second. And listen, these are the games that the media play with us. They play games with us. They play games with us. All right. I think it's up there on the screen now. And you there, caller?
Yeah, Martin, I'm here.
Okay, hold on. Now look at this mess. Now, if you look on the screen, October the 17th, officers. Then you go look down up on it. Charges drop against cops who dumped black woman body in the dumpster that set ablaze. Then down here a little later, another site, it says charges dismissed for cops who mutilated black woman. You know, see, come on, people. Come on, caller, what you got to say?
Oh, hey, Martin, it's Keena Nicole.
Hey, Keena Nicole. How you doing?
I'm all right. So last night, I came in on the tail end of what was happening, but I was not pleased at all with what I heard. You know, I don't think black women are protected as well as they can be. I don't. This was absolutely insane when I heard it. I'm like, what are y'all covering up for real? You know, because why do you have to burn the body? I feel like the caller yesterday, I forget what her name is. But
Teresa.
Not the Teresa Banks. No, not her. The other one, when she was adamant about the police covering up something. And I feel the same exact way. You know, because what are you doing? I mean, why did you move the body? Why did you not call for backup? Or you know how they call to have what do they call them? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank now, Martin. I'm tired of this that I've worked. the person they declare somebody dead.
A coroner?
They didn't do none of that. Yeah, the coroner. They didn't do none of that. And it's like, you tampering with a crime scene, your own self. And I'm trying real hard, Martin, to not have a bitter taste in my mouth for officers, because you are right. When something happens, I do have to call them. But some of them, Martin, I had one yesterday that was trying to bother me. And I'm like, I'm old enough to be your mama. Leave me alone and go find some crime to fight. You understand what I'm saying? And I mean, back to this young lady, it's really unfortunate what happened to her. And I mean, I just don't know. It's like every time you turn around, you hear about some cop doing something to another black person. And that's disturbing, because to me, it feels like even though they took an oath and they did all of this stuff, it's like they get away with murder. You understand? They get away with murder. A lot of times. Not all the time, but a lot of times. And then when they do get caught, or when they do get charged, Jason Van Dyke, you get what? A few months? Like, let's be for real. It's really disturbing. It is. I don't even know what to say.
Well, what I want you guys to see, the media is help covering it up too as well. It's not just the police working that. It's the media.
Yeah.
The way they wording it, 2 men, they named their name. One article had officers. One article just said 2 men. Come on now. They trying to keep the country from blowing over and protesting. I know what they're trying to do. Know what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they are, but you know what? The smart people know better. The smart people know better. Everything not about tearing stuff up, but I believe before my last breath, black folks gonna come together, and I'm gonna stand on that. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand on that. I believe it. It's coming, because black folks can get together peacefully and make a difference. It's volumes and numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me. I'm sorry, my kids are in the background loud. But yeah, it's volumes and numbers, and there's a way more black folks that's trying to do something good, in my opinion, than it is the ones that you see on the news. We kind of touched on that the other day. Martin, it was disturbing when I heard it yesterday. I'm not happy today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like it either.
I feel helpless in this situation.
I don't like it either, but I need you. Hold on, Miss Banks. Yeah. I'm talking about Kenny Nicole. I'm sorry. I got another caller. Hey, caller. Marcus, go ahead.
You know what? The media is controlled by the elite, the corporation. America is a corporation, so quite naturally, they're going to protect the ones that they paid to protect them. And so they're going to try to pull them out of it. That's why they want to get a handle on TikTok and Facebook and all that, because it exposes them. They're dirt. And that's what we got to understand. That's the white media. They're going to protect white people. And that's what they do. What happened to this young lady was horrific. It's probably the most horrific crime of this millennial, in my opinion. This is as sick as you get.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the brothers on the street, excuse me, Martin, kick those white cops that did that, if they're back out there on the street. I hope they meet. I hope karma comes around and really kicks them in the A.
Marcus.
Because what they did was sick. Sicker than sick. I don't even think sicker.
And you see how the media worded? They name their names.
Yeah.
Some of them say suspect, and some of them say officers, cops. I mean, come on, people. That's dirty. That's dirty. They working right along. We call that the system of white supremacies. Now let me say this. You got some people that's Dominican, Latino, Mexican, they go by white. They are classified as being white. So I want to tell you that. All right. So y'all know that. Yeah. And so I'm telling you, people, this is the media game. This is where you have to know how to read between the line. Comprehension. Reading comprehension. It's wordplay, people. This thing happened back in October. We almost in the 7th month. We're in the 6th month right now, June, which is June.
Yeah.
How many months they kept that quiet? November, December. It's happened in October. People, this is not right. You guys go ahead and talk. Go ahead.
I will say this. The black people in California need to call into those TV networks, flood the networks, the news networks, and tell them to tell the damn truth. Quit covering up, because when we do something, or when the police shoot and kill one of these black kids, the white media goes on their Facebook page and pull up them images of them doing what they do, but that still doesn't justify why the police had to kill them. So we need to flood these TV network stations and let them know that we're not at all pleased on how they report the story when it comes to us. And we need to boycott them. We also need to protest them when they're not doing it the right way. Otherwise, they're going to continue to do what they're doing. They call us black every day.
Right.
So you get what I'm saying? When a white person commit a crime, but they call us black. To me, that is a racial term. To even be called African American is a racial term. To be called a Negro is a racial term. Call me a person like you do your own race. You don't call out your race on the news. You always call out black. Black.
Hey, Martin, what you always say is all by design.
All by design. Y'all gonna wake up. Listen, y'all gonna wake up. Listen, see, they got a lot of women food, because see, they have rewarded the black women. You can get educated, you got your women's rights and all this stuff. But guess what? When the family structure is not intact, man, we can't protect the family. Because so much of male and female, we at each other right now. Black folks, grown folks, male and female, we at each other right now. It's a power struggle. Who make the most money? Who got more education? It's our turn now. And our children out there killing each other with Dracos and 9mm and 22s and machine guns and with switches and stuff on it. While we fighting at each other, while we fighting King Nicole and Marcus, our children out there killing each other. And I'm generalizing what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
As a race. So I'm not picking on nobody, neither one of you guys. That's what happened. Because the women got it going on. And I'm congratulating the women. I ain't hating on nobody. But guess what? For a woman to say a strong black woman and our children are running out here killing each other, something ain't right. Somebody ain't strong. If you can't grab hold of your children, that's not a sign of strength.
Come on, Martin.
That's not a sign of strength. If you are a black educated woman and you always call yourself strong, independent, and your children are out here shooting and killing people, you need to take that title down. Strong and independent. You need not
Martin,
use
like
that.
You said before, it's all fine and dandy that you got the women who take care of their babies. But listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree 100% with what you said. This was like maybe a month or two ago when you asked that question, like, who helped you? You raised your baby all by yourself. Nobody helped you. And, I do a lot. My husband sit back and I do a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, he is the man. And guess what I know how to do? I know how to fall back when I need to. But I'm a hustle and bustle at the same time. Because this is my family. I'm going to do what I got to do still. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we've been together, 14 years, I want to say? 7 years married. Almost 7 years in August it'll be. And, I mean, I have it no other way. Because I believe in marriage. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's perfect, but I believe in that.
Oh, yeah.
Kids got to have mom and dad, you know? All the other stuff, I'm not going to even speak on it because that's a whole nother show, but
let me just say this.
A mom and a dad.
Hold on, Keena Nicole. Let me say this. Any black woman that has a man, a boyfriend, what you want to call a man or boyfriend, you're really, quote unquote, not single, especially if he's living with you and he's helping you pay bills and watching the children, doing all that. You have help. So all this stuff, I don't have no help, that's on you. You got a man laying up with you, eating up your food, and you taking care of, and he's not helping. That's on you. That's on you.
My question would be, what do you define as help? You know, and this is an individual thing, I know it is, but you might have a person that don't have a job, but they at home, they making sure the house is together, they cooking, they washing the clothes, they doing all that. I'm like, that'll help right there. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the person, but I feel like it takes two to make the whole thing work.
Yes, it does.
You know,
and every house,
it takes two. It just does.
Every household is not ran the same. I'll say that.
That's right.
Every household is not ran the same. What works in my house may not work in your house, King Nicole. What work in my house may not work in Marcus' house, and vice versa. So I'm just telling you, some of y'all women, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm telling you. Because listen, what is the plan? This is what came in my spirit today. What's the plan for black people for the next 100 years? For us. What plan, what blueprint, Keena Nicole, Martin Johnson, Marcus Robinson, do we have right now for our future, for our children? What plan we have the next 100 years? What is the blueprint that we have? Because if we stay on course, what we're doing now, we already headed to be the fourth class citizen, third and fourth, fifth class citizens. What are we going to do if thousands and thousands of babies are being aborted? I'm talking about black people, and thousands of blacks being murdered. I ain't going to say black on black crime. I'm going to just say murder all around the United States. How you think our numbers going to look in this country? What is going to happen if our young black men and women don't want to stay in school, don't want to get a trade? They want to hustle, hit licks. Licks mean schemes. Party, drink, have babies out of wedlock. Come on now. I call it unwanted pregnancy, not planned pregnancy. And don't get me wrong, I've been there. I know what it's like. That's why I can talk about it. So where are we going to be at as a group in the next 100 years? What plan are we laying down for our children in the next 100 years in this country? Marcus, I want you to say something. Talk to us.
That's a good question. Because at the rate, what we're looking at right now is more of this that we're seeing will repeat itself, because these kids that are doing it now, they're having kids. These young men who think that having a kid makes them a man, but they still out here with that street culture, they're putting that in front of their sons. Their sons are going to know that. These young ladies blasting that drill music around the babies that's coming up under their guidance, and acting a fool, social media, they clowning on social media, this will continue to repeat itself, and the only somebody that can stop it is an unseen power that we pray to every night, which is God. He's the only somebody that can go into the minds and clean up the minds of the people. We got to keep believing and keep hope. But as the way it looks, if our young people don't listen, we're going extinct. We won't be around in the next 100 years.
King Nicole?
That's a deep question, and I really feel like if we keep on the path that we headed on, we will be in a whole lot of trouble. I'm not gonna say I'm the most spiritual person out here, but I definitely pray to God, and I ask God for a lot of things. But what I also know is God allows things to happen, and we have to come to Him, and a lot of people are not going to Him, and that's part of the problem, and you got a lot of people out here. Let me just say this. Even if there's no God, right, I would rather be a halfway decent human being and do what I'm supposed to do than to find out in the end that He is real and I've been messed up the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm like, let me just go ahead. Them elders knew something.
Mm-hmm.
They knew something. And I said, they never saw God either.
Mm.
But guess what? They prayed to Him. They was humming and, waving their hand, and that stuff worked.
Yeah.
They had way less than we had, but look how much better it was back then.
Let me say this, people. Let me say this. If we don't get a blueprint for the next 100 years, and everybody that's listening to me right now, that's grown, we won't be here in the next 100 years if this place still existed. We won't be here, Marcus. We'll have RIP, rest in peace, or RIH, rest in heaven, behind our name. So my point is, to all those successful, educated Black people, African American, African Zoe, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? What blueprint do we have for the next 100 years for our grandchildren and future children? Seriously. And that came to my spirit today. And I was sitting thinking, I was like, man, the next 100 years, what would Black people look like in this country? This is something to think about. With all this education that we have, with all these children we have, all these homes and finance and good credit and all this stuff, will it be around in the next 100 years? Will we be able to pass this knowledge down? What blueprint that we have? We need a blueprint for the next 100, 200 years. We need planning. If not, Marcus, we doomed, brother. We doomed.
Yep.
We've already, we already know anything positive, constructive that we do, white people gonna push back on it. We know that. Any idea that we come up with, they're gonna try to destroy it or buy it or control it or profit off of it. Black people, and I challenge every Black person that's listening to this live, whether you like me or dislike me or get along with me or don't understand me, where would our faith be at in the next 100 years? And again, I said, those of us that's listen to this broadcast, podcast, you'll be dead in the next 100 years. What about our children? What plan we will leave to them to carry on to other generations. This is serious talk, people. We're facing police misconduct. We're facing the judicial system have proven to us that we're nothing. We're facing redlining. We're facing the law enforcement that don't give us a break. If we have a gun and it don't have to be pointed at them, we still gonna get exterminated. They're over-medicating our people. They are persuading our men, young boys and girls to be gay. Don't allow them to choose for themselves. What is it gonna look like, people? What is it gonna look like? I can't even imagine in my mind, Kenny, Nicole, and Marcus, what America's gonna look like in the next 100 years.
Hey, Martin.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that kind of disturbs my spirit, somebody actually put it in the comments yesterday, and it's about us not even being a whole human. You know, in the Constitution, I may be saying it wrong, but we like 3/5 a person or something like that. And to me, while they throwing all of these other fights, okay, legalize gay marriage, let's do this. No, how about making us a whole person, because that's what we are. You know what I mean? And people act like they don't even know that. I'm like, that's in the Constitution right now.
Yeah, it says.
And I didn't even think it was a thing that you could change it.
Nobody talks about changing it. Actually, what that really means is 3/5 property. That's what we are. That's what they look at as property. Because when they brought black people, I ain't gonna say slaves, that made them become slaves, we was looked as property. And that's how we wasn't brought over here to be politicians, lawyers, doctors, school teachers, and all that. None of that. They breeded us like they breeded animals. They had a man to run up and to have sex with so many different women, to bring babies here. So I'm telling you, people, we was not brought here to be successful. We were brought here to serve the interests of white America. And we still here the same way. And those of you that got a master's degree, doctorates, bachelor's degree, what's the blueprint? What are you mastering? I need to know, what are you mastering? We in a rut. Those of you that's financial guru, you got money, but what about the group? You holding secrets that you won't share with the group because you want the poor people in the group to look up to you while you give them crumbs. We tired of the piece of the pie, financial guru. Give us the remedy. That's what we want. The recipe. That's what we want. I'm telling y'all, people, y'all gonna say that crime chaser guy told us. Y'all know this is where we tell the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil. And you already see it, that migrants are coming in this country. They don't care about Juneteenth. Watch how many of them walk around with flags, red, black, green flags. None of them care nothing about that. We're going to be out in the park barbecuing, and guess what? They're going to be on these jobs working, getting money. We're going to wake up one day and look up. They're going to be our bosses. They're going to be homeowners. I'm telling you. We're going to be lecture sliding, and y'all know I love to party. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be drinking, smoking, major and minor things. And going to look up one day. They're going to have the money. They're going to have the political power. They're going to fit right on in. I'm telling you. This is real. I see it coming. The handwriting is on the wall. What are we going to do? Kill each other? What are we going to do? As I said last night, Kenny Nicole, I don't know if you was on there at that time, the number one enemy is self-hate. Then from there is racism. Self-hate. We hate who we are, both men and women. We hate who we are. We try to pretend like we love ourselves. We don't love ourselves, because if we love ourselves, we wouldn't do to what we do to each other. We wouldn't treat each other like that. When you really love something or somebody, you are cautious of what you do and say to them, and you're not so quick to kill them when you really love someone. That's true. When you really, really love someone, take a husband and wife that love each other, and a husband on the job. The women always compliment them. You know, he thank them, but he never flirts with them because he know his wife wouldn't approve of that. And flirting is a form of cheating. He may not be laying down in the bed with him sexually, but it's a form of cheating. A form of it.
That's right.
I got to tell the truth, Shane the devil. Y'all know I love you now, but I got to tell it. A woman that love her husband, she ain't going to be out here getting on telephone numbers from other men. Now, I'm not talking about men that you're trying to do business with like that or something, or home improvement. I'm talking about flirting tip. That's what I'm talking about. She know that her husband not going to approve of that, so she's not going to do it because she don't want to hurt him. She love him. And I'm going to say this too. This is how you know you love your husband or your wife. When you know you can cheat on them and they'll never find out and you don't do it. That's one good sign that you love your husband and love your wife. When you know you can cheat and they could never find out, probably will never know it, and you decide, hey, I'm not going to do that. Regardless if he can find out or not, I'm not going to do it. Some of us will cheat if we think we can get away with it without our spouse knowing it. This is real. We got to start loving on each other, people. We don't love each other much. And like I said yesterday, there's a difference of a person being friendly with you and a person being your friend. They are not the same. When you go into McDonald's, Popeyes, all these Burger Kings and stuff like that, they're friendly toward you, but they're not your friend. When you go into these hospitals to get service, to get healing, nutrition, whatever, medicine, they're going to be friendly to you. It's the thing to do because it's business, but they're not your friend. This real talk. Real talk. Somebody said just customer service. Some folks don't like this talk, King and Nicole, but I got to tell the truth and shame the devil. And the only people crying about this type of talk is a hit dog. A hit dog. It's real talk. A hit dog is crying about this. And I'm not trying to make nobody feel bad tonight, but I got to tell the truth. Somebody needs to hear this. We all need to hear this.
That's right. That's right.
How dwelleth the love of God in us? A lot of us say we love God, but we can't even love our brother who we see in God we never seen before. Seriously.
Ain't there something?
Some of us on this live right now, watching and listening to me, you love an animal more than you love a human. You'll feed an animal before you feed a human being. Shame on you. You will take an animal in before you take a human being in. And you know you got some good leftovers. You'd rather trash it before you give it to somebody. You know you got some nice clothes that you pay good money for in your closet. You'll never wear again. But you're so selfish, you'd rather throw it away or give it instead of giving to somebody that really need it and make their day. I got a new caller, 6970. Go ahead, caller.
What's up, partner? How's it going?
Oh, this is my partner, Vera Giles Norris. I know I got to sit down and listen now. Come on with it, sister. I'm gonna sit back.
You know what? I'm just kind of, I hope y'all can hear me. I'm just kind of chilling and I'm just listening. And it's making so much sense because the agenda has already been in place. I've never seen so many people, Martin, losing their jobs right now.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that's being kicked out of their houses. If they had housing, they're losing their housing. There are people that can't get unemployment. There are people that are literally losing their lives one or two ways. Either they're part of the vicious cycle where it's black on black crime, or they're part of the cycle, or they're just because they're black, they're being murdered. And one of the things that we can do as a people is finally, it's like when we gonna learn that they ain't concerned about us, you, me, we. We can't keep looking outside of us, expecting them to do nothing for us that we can do for ourselves. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about it's like jokes. You know, I heard a joke that said, if you want to, if you can, it's something about getting behind the pearly gate and asking God a question. And if you can ask God a question that he can't answer or something like that, or St. Peter, whoever at the gate, somebody know the joke probably better than me. But the joke is the one question that they couldn't answer is, when will black folks stick together? And then, you know, however the joke goes, if you know it, you know it. But the more of what I'm saying, Martin, is when will we stick together? When will we learn that we cannot continue to kill and hurt each other when we literally got to learn to stick together? And I know I said a lot, but I'm a pause, partner, but that's just where I'm at right now.
Well, let me say this. You know, we're on here. We know crime don't have no color, but I know what you mean when you say black on black crime. We killing each other. But let me just say this, Vera, to what you just said. It's self-hate. We hate who we are. We hate the very skin that we're in. We're type of people, we walk around smiling, but inside we crying and screaming and hollering. Don't know what to do. We don't know who to turn to. We don't know who to talk to. We don't know who to trust. We trust everybody but people that look like us. People, we had it going on when we had our black side of town. We didn't have to go on the other side for nothing. For nothing. maybe to go to work, and we know to get out of there when the sun go down. Some of us got a little money, a little fame, a little education, and the first thing we do, I'm not like those other black people over there, but that's still your brother and your sister. It was the ordinary black people that marched in the civil rights movement that made a change. It wasn't doctors and lawyers and nurses and educators. It was normal people, everyday people. To turn, we say Joe Blow. And I'm going to tell you, people, they paved the way for us to go to these Ivy League schools and have some of these jobs and some of these communities we can live in. Well, Martin, I love my people, but I can't live around them. I have too much, and I understand you. But you have affluent black neighborhoods too as well. Not all black neighborhoods are poor and poverty-stricken and all that. You got some areas, some pockets where you got nice people, nice areas. And now that we know, social media have shown us that crime is not just in Woodlawn, it's in Roseland, it's in Joliet, it's in Alsop, Midlothian, Schaumburg. Crime is in all these places. Now, we know in these low income areas it's more prevalent. Violence. But what about the criminals that's in the blue suit that carry the gun? What about the criminals that have the pantsuit on, skirt suit on, the suit jacket and the tie? What about those criminals? They're not out there doing drive-by shootings, but they're making policies that are forcing people to kill, steal, and do whatever they have to do. Old Timer said the other day on this live, he said, Martin, if you don't have no education or no skill, there's only one thing left to do. You're going to steal. You're going to rob. You're going to do what you have to do. It's in a man to survive by any means necessary. And this is what we're seeing today, right now. Look at our communities. Those of us that live in the inner cities, some of these south suburbs and poor suburbs, these vacant lots, everything messed up by design. That's why we have to get 100 to 200-year plan for us. It's almost too late for our generation. We might not see a better generation in this life, but we can make this place better for our future that looks like us. We have to teach our children to compete. You have to compete in America. You can't just sit down and lay down and think money gonna fall in your lap. It's not gonna happen. You got to compete. Now we got Juneteenth coming up, the holiday coming up. It's a holiday now. There's other nationalities or other groups. They don't care nothing about that holiday. Don't care nothing about that. They're trying to compete and eat. And black people, we've been lured to sleep in religion, in politics, and a lot of things. This is me talking. I'm telling the truth. I'm like Dr. Charles G. Hayes said. He said, I'll run before I take it back, and then I'll add more to it. And I'm saying it's unapologetic. I don't care who watching and listening. This is about survival. I don't want my black people that look like me to go extinct in this country. People don't think it can happen. It can happen. I'm telling you, people, they're not taking us serious. No one likes black people. I'm trying to tell you, you better know the difference when somebody being friendly to you. And that don't mean they're your friend. We have to be friendly to people, especially working on these jobs, working in a hospital setting. Got to be friendly, especially in sales. You want to be friendly so you can get the sale. I got another caller, 612. Go ahead.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. And I want to mention that case in California. You guys heard you talking about it. Something ain't right about that case.
Mm-hmm.
Something. My man telling me different things. Something. How did they get connected with her in the first place?
Mm-hmm. What's
That's
your
what I'm
mind?
wondering.
Tell me what your mind telling you.
Well, like I said, research analysis. I think was she trafficked? Is she a human traffic victim? They had no business messing with her from the beginning. So they had to have the evidence that, doing what they did to her, burning her and all that to cover something up. The connection with her. What was the connection with her? How did they get connected with her? That's from the beginning. How did they get in her space?
Okay. So that's
what I'm wondering.
Okay.
I'm wondering, like, for them to do that to her, for to be in that situation with him, how they connected. What was that's what's hidden to me, is the connection, how they connect with each other, for them to get close enough to do that to her. That's the part that's missing. I thought about that. I said, how did they get so close to her to do that to her? Get in her space. What was the connection from the beginning? Like, how did they meet her? Like, what was the reason for the thing to be having a connection to her? Well, that's the part that's missing.
Well, let me say this. The court of public opinion is different from court of law. Now, we can speculate a lot of things. Seriously. And we know if you taking a body and set it ablaze, which is setting on fire, that means you're covering up something. You're trying to hide something. We have common sense to know that. Now,
what I'm saying, like, before they got to even do that to her, how did they first connect? That's the part that's missing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for them to do that to her, for to burn her and have all that connection with her, what was the beginning of the interact? For them to connect with her, to be close enough to do that to her. That's the part that's missing from the beginning part. So they try to cover up by putting her in there, doing that to her. They try to cover up by killing her and doing that to her to cover up the beginning of the reaction of the connection, how they got to that point.
We don't know.
That's the part that's missing. Once that part is out, then you got to solve it. When somebody doing that, they try to, like, when some women get killed, black women get killed, anybody get killed, the house is already on fire, right? Kind of put the fire out and think, oh, it burnt the person up from a fire, but it's really something else. They put the house on fire to cover what they did before that.
Well, it wasn't a house, ma'am. It wasn't a house.
I know that wasn't a house. I know I'm just using that for example.
Okay. What in the
Yeah.
house?
I know that, yeah. I'm just using, for
Okay.
example, I
All
saw a lot of things where women get burned up in houses, you know, stuff like that, to cover up something. Like they did with her, but they did it a different way. Yeah.
Hold on.
Mhm.
Call in number 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. Looking for some new callers. Again, call in number 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. Well, let me just say this. I'll say this about the young lady. She was young, about 25 years old, and they might have been in there having a good time. I don't know. I'm just speculating. They could have been in there getting high
Mhm.
and having some sex acts going on, and she
Mhm.
overdosed. They panicked, and they said, "Well, we got to get rid of
Mhm.
this body." So, and they was officers.
Cause
I'm
when I
going by
saw
what
a
we
face
know.
on the screen,
Yeah.
I remember reading that back last year, and I saw a face. I said, that's the same young lady I read about last year. I know nobody's gonna, no lady's gonna bring it out, bring it up again.
They hid that story.
Mm-hmm.
They hid it. Now, the reason why the assistant attorney said they dropped it because these officers were involved in some type of racial hate text messages.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
With who?
that jeopardized the investigation or something. It's all people, black women. I'm sorry, black men, we're not protecting you guys. We're not protecting our women. I'm sorry. Speaking as a group, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. But we tough with one another, though. We tough with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Well, people, I was looking for some more calls. Partner, did you want to say anything? Ken and Nicole, you want to say anything? I'm going to get off here.
No, you know what? I'm just listening.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I'm just listening.
Okay. Ken and Nicole?
Same, Martin. I don't know. It just saddens me with all the different stuff that you hear and you see. And then you can't depend on the news to tell you what's really happening, because if we go based on the news, my question would be, somebody saw them cops, going from one location to another with her, and then for them to just drop everything like that, like it's not making sense at all. I don't know, Martin.
It's not right. All right, people, we're going to leave it right
No,
here.
it's not.
We're going to leave it right here. This is live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. What is it? Live, uncut, unedited. Share the video, people, please. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. And still love yourself. I love being black. That's it. That's it, people. That's it. And you know what, people? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you guys that share this video. Make sure you share it. If you don't want to share it, you can tag somebody in it or send it in their messenger. One or two, that's just as good. Somebody needs to hear this message. Let's get it out. Let's keep this
Hey, Martin,
story.
you coming on tomorrow?
Probably, yes. What's tomorrow? Saturday? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure, because if not, I just wanted to tell all the dads Happy Father's Day.
Okay. Appreciate it. All
What
right.
time would you be on tomorrow?
It's no telling. It's going to be late tomorrow. It'll be
Oh,
another late night because
okay.
there's so many activities going on, and man, I got to work
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow. Then I got to go to some activities. It's going to be a lot going on. So I'll be trying, people.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be trying my best. Try to make everything, but I can't make everything. It's just one of me. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Peace out.